Hey guys, my name is Brandon Fairfax, and today I will be elaborating on the Real Warriors campaign. Some concepts that I'll be discussing are things like why the campaign began in the first place, what did it ultimately do, and its impact on its target audience that still leaves a positive impression today. So without consuming any more time, let's just get straight into it. Starting in 2009, the Department of Defense launched the Real Warriors campaign. It has successfully advanced the general public's understanding of societal issues and concerns relating to service members, veterans, and military families that have been affected by post-traumatic stress. It is believed that because of the ultimate success of the Real Warriors campaign, that more service members and their families today are likely to seek out care for the psychological health concerns. The Real Warriors campaign had three essential goals in mind when outlining the foundation of the campaign. All three of the goals of the campaign highlight three of the most vital elements that help shape a campaign for success. Factors such as identifying the problem, the solution, and the possible means of overall campaign success. The first goal of the campaign was to create awareness of resources available for psychological health care. The second campaign goal was to develop an understanding of the challenges that prevent seeking care. The last goal for the campaign was to create awareness of the concepts of resilience and early intervention and the roles that they play individually. Suicide is a public health crisis throughout the United States. The veteran community is aware and concerned, and the statistics of the military personnel coming home from service and taking their own lives is disturbing, but this can also be prevented. The Real Warriors campaign from the DoD is designed to eliminate the stigma that prevents military personnel from reaching out and receiving the help that they need and deserve. The Real Warriors campaign can be inspected using SWOT analysis, which will help identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that are associated with competition and overall planning. Starting with the strengths of the campaign, it has been observed that the Real Warrior campaign encountered several achievements, such as meeting the needs of the Department of Defense Mental Health Task Force and reaching service members, veterans, families, and healthcare specialists through various online platforms. The campaign went to distribute 1.6 million collateral materials to target audiences. Their website garnered 741,000 unique visitors and 5.2 million page views, garnering 580,000 social media interactions through a total of 253 written articles along their partner social media channels as well. A total of 3 weaknesses were annotated throughout the Real Warrior campaign structural model. The first concern and vulnerability that was observed was found on the website of the campaign itself. The Real Warrior campaign website was seen to be useful concerning information and materials, but ultimately was a challenge when navigating throughout various portals and subpages as well. The second weakness that had been presented was that the partnered organizations desired more engagement with the campaign in general. Approximately 2/3 of the partners we spoke of, they made suggestions for improvement for the campaign's partnership program. The partner-based expectations and overall communication were at a lull for some partners of the Real Warriors campaign. The last weakness alongside partnership organizations was that some partners were not actively engaged during the campaign and that the distribution of responsibility and task orientation was factored disproportionately. 59% of all partners are actively engaged in dissemination of the campaign information materials and resources throughout articles, news briefs, e-blasts, e-newsletters, social media, and blogs, or at venues such as conferences, events, offices, or clinics, while 45% of partners list the campaign's logo or web link on their websites. Regarding the Real Warrior campaign opportunities for future improvement, there had been 4 primary observations. Firstly, execution of resource awareness throughout the campaign materials lacked energy and could have been better established. Secondly, the campaign's partners and panel members grappled with ongoing concerns with the dissemination of campaign goals. Thirdly, members of the Real Warrior campaign partnership panel had noted that the campaign's website was not considerate towards Spanish-speaking service members and their families as well. Lastly, the Real Warrior campaign was tailored to a vast audience consisting of active duty, reservists, guardsmen, what have you. Each population was targeted appropriately, but partners felt as if the campaign wasn't focused enough on singular groups within that audience itself. Two concerns surrounding the Real Warrior campaign posed harmful threats to overall campaign success. Firstly, the stigma associated with mental health problems within the armed services is alive and well. The stigma itself may prevent service members from recognizing the campaign as being something that's positive. Alongside stigmas, some service members recognize mental health concerns as having negative career repercussions as well. In relation to prior public relations models and theories, we can view an overlapping trend across the board. The Real Warrior campaign choice of model for its framework was no doubt the leading cause of its prosperity. The HBM or health belief model is a universally recognized model that distinguishes essential influences such as the attitudes of individual sensitivity to a health problem. The HBM allowed the Real Warrior campaign team to administer not only literature studies but also focus groups, in-depth interviews, market analysis to recognize the campaign's threats, distinguished by service members enduring mental health matters. The campaign's team utilized these various forms of information to advance the identity of target groups, the campaign goals, its core messages, and the distribution strategies for the campaign altogether. Research gathered from the HBM drove to the connecting of 5 appropriate target populations for the campaign. These populations consisted of active duty service members, the Reserve, National Guard members, veteran communities, families, and also health professionals. Additionally, the campaign produced 4 goals that outline its way to the 4 HBM constructs. The goals consisted of raising awareness about the signs and symptoms of the mental health concerns, raising awareness about the relative costs of inaction compared with action in seeking help for mental health concerns, raising expectations for positive outcomes for seeking support or treatment, raising awareness about the resources and services available for support and treatment. The Real Warrior campaign reached all 5 singular populations through communication channels, such as the campaign's website itself, social media platforms, partnership exercises, and conference-based events as well. The Real Warrior campaign achieved overall success by mastering 4 distinct elements: the content in which they implemented, their campaign's message, their use of relevant media, and also their tactics used to reach their goals. The Real Warrior campaign was one of the programs implemented by the DoD, and its participation was included to address the various issues relating to mental health. Many other campaigns and programs relating to the Real Warrior campaign contributed to the epidemic, also to combat the invisible wounds carried by service members, including post-traumatic stress disorder and psychological well-being among service members and for their families as well. The Real Warrior campaign message of strength, resilience, and reintegration helps reinforce the tactics and critical direction that influence behavior change and help to facilitate specific health outcomes for service members. Public service announcements, or PSAs, carry the RWC's message to millions of service members, veterans, and military families across the country. These PSAs were included in over 31 radio pieces, 15 news-based audio announcements. The campaign's community of 150 social media ambassadors share key messages every day, resulting in 132,000 social media mentions, vastly positive in tone. The campaign's use of relevant media consisted of the production of 15 video profiles that included some personal stories featuring actual service members. The video profiles took off into the course of 34 following podcast episodes. From the campaigns heavily focused on social media, they have entered 58,000 interactions in total. In 2014, the traffic increased by over 500%. To summarize the campaign's application to media, they had generated 670,000 news stories worldwide, resulting in 3.2 billion media impressions, which were all positive in tone, as I had mentioned previously. Throughout 2012, the Real Warrior campaign utilized various tactics to meet their goals and objectives. One tactic used was market analysis. The campaign's team referenced the most significant health campaigns as well as specific populations that had been targeted by them. With all that being said, hopefully you guys have a better understanding of the campaign's standing, so where it started at, what it did, and the impacts that it had on the target audience. If there's anything that I didn't touch on that you may be curious about or need further explanation, Please feel free to leave a comment below on the video or reach out via Blackboard. And with that being said, hope to hear from you guys soon and have an awesome day. Thanks.